I'm quite a curious person. Some people would say nosy. Yeah, probably am. I like to know how people run their businesses and what is involved in their speaking business. I'm fascinated by the variety. There are so many different ways to run a speaking business, and every speaker's business is unique to them. There's no two businesses that are alike, I assure you. And in fact, if you know lots of speakers, ask them to tell you what their products and services are, how they get their business, where their business comes from, what their charging structure is. I'm sure they'll share an awful lot of information if you ask. So I'm always curious. And recently, James Taylor and I interviewed Steve Lowell on Speaking Business TV. Steve Lowell is the president of the Global Speakers Federation, and he's been in the speaking world for quite some time. In fact, longer than many people have been alive, because he started speaking at the age of 6. And he has a very unique structure in his business. What I liked very much about what he shared about his business when I asked him to tell us what is it and how does it work is that he creates his own events. He creates his own events, goes out and markets them, brings people in, and then from those events, he then shares more, he sells more because people come in and realize that he's an expert, they get a great deal of value, and then they are open to working with him further. We do some of that as well in our business. And it led me to think about the importance of having a balance of products in and services in your business and not to rely on just one revenue stream. I'm sure that certainly the pandemic has made you think differently about your business if you were a keynote speaker that spoke only on main stages at large conferences. You were in trouble. And Steve's business wasn't in trouble because Steve was the person creating the opportunities for him and his wife, they're in partnership, to have events and run events. So I'd like you this week, if you have not done this exercise yet, to think about your portfolio of services. What are the things that you can do in your as a speaker, as an expert, beyond the speech? What are the other things you can do that don't necessarily rely on somebody else actually coming to you and asking you to deliver a speech or you going out and finding a speech? Other things that you can offer to your clients, to your audiences, that will allow you a bit more security and a bit more balance. I think it's fascinating. Do listen in to the recording of Steve's interview. We've turned it into a podcast. There is so much value. Get a notebook out. I tell you, there is so much you will get from somebody with such great experience and huge success. Let me know about your business model because, as I said earlier, I'm a bit nosy.